Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to video some junk journaling, and this is part of a collaboration with Helen Colebrook from Journal with Purpose, and we decided to do a little collaboration together, and both of us will be filming a couple of journal prompts that we'll do in our journals, and then we'll both share it. All the links are down below. So let's get started. So I'm a Patreon follower of Helen on Patreon, and again the link is below. Today we're going to take a couple of the journal prompts that she shared for July, and we're going to use this creative prompt, which is try creating a waterfall card to include in your journal. And we thought that this writing prompt would go quite well with that, and that is the document some of the happiest moments in your life. So we'll get to that in a second. I've also put a link to the tutorial to make the waterfall card, but you'll see how I make it as well today. So I'm going to do my journal spread in my junk journal, and I've also been doing the junk journal July challenge. So this is going to be great because it'll tick one of my projects off for that. Excuse my dog at the background. So this is the journal spread I'm going to use. As you can see, this page here is quite blank, so we're going to put most of what we do today in there. But there's also this shorter page on the right hand side here, which is I've already put a pocket in when I made the journal. So what we're going to do as well today is make a couple of tags to go into this pocket that will sort of tie in with whatever I do on the left hand side here. So I think as a starting point, because this is a blank page and blank pages can be quite scary, I thought the first thing I'd do was to do a little bit of stenciling just on the background, just to give us a base point. I'm going to use this Tim Holtz stencil that I've got, and I kind of want to go with a sort of bluish theme for my colours today. So I've chosen this Ranger blue, cobalt blue ink. So I'm going to change my pad there, and then let's load up the stamper with the ink. And then it's just going to be sort of random. I'm not probably going to do it all over. I might just do sort of a corner here. And because my junk journal is so thick, I'm actually going to just put a flat piece of card behind there. And let's try that. That's better. And it doesn't have to be exact. I just want to have a hint of that. I might do a little bit down here as well. There we go. So just a little hint of something in the background. So I had a bit of think about this first, and what I decided to do is create a bit of journaling space. I'm going to do the waterfall card with some photos, and because the writing prompt is about happiest moments in our life, the photos are going to reflect those happiest moments as well. So that will go on here as well. And I'd also like to incorporate some collaging. It's my favourite thing to do. So I wanted to do some collaging today. So I'm going to do some sort of collaging in the background as well. So I'm just going to set my journal aside for a second. And I'm also been doing the iCAD creative challenge as well. So I thought what I'd do is actually do the little collage on a index card. So I've gathered some pieces of scrap. I've got some vintage book page. I've got some sort of This is just sandwich wrapping, which I've scrumpled together just to make it look a little bit old. I've got some bluish, some paper, some nice handmade paper with some bluish colour in it. What else have I got? Oh, because it's sort of memories that I want to create, I thought maybe I got a stamp of a camera here. So we've got photos in the waterfall card, so I thought I'll incorporate that somehow, and I've got some other stamps. So let's get started. And the first thing I'm going to do is cover the whole index card with this book page. So I'm just going to glue whole one side of the index card. I've been a fan of Helen's for a very long time, and she offered to do a collaboration with me, and I'm absolutely delighted to be doing this, it's just amazing. She's extremely talented, and she's been influencing me, I think, for the last couple of years now. Although I've been junk journaling for probably about 4 years now, creating my own junk journals and also using them mostly to journal and collage, those being my two favourite things. So now I'm just going to trim off the surplus there. So we now have a kind of base for our collage here. As I said, I want to incorporate this paper here, so I think I'm just going to sort of tear a bit off. I want the journal to be sort of long ways like this, so I'm thinking I might put that across the top. A bit better that way, there. So let's just stick that down. So I'm just sort of building up base layers now. This is, I also really like this, but I wonder if I'm going to put something else underneath that. So I think for now, I'm just going to probably put some here across the bottom. I'll probably put that across the bottom, something like that, but maybe I want to put something else in here first. So let's see. I'm going to be using for the journal space to create on my on the page. I've got an old 1940s ledger, so I've torn out today's page, so the 16th of July. I'm going to use that bit there for the journaling section. So I'm going to use a little bit more of this lovely paper to add some more interest in here. So I think I'm just going to put some of this down the corner here, or just down the bottom. Yeah, that looks quite nice. I always try and because I'm a very planning, organised sort of person, I always do give initial thought to what I want to do before I actually sit down and start gluing. It's not all sort of off the cuff, so to speak, but clearly I gather stuff together, and who knows what's going to happen when you start actually gluing stuff down. So I really love this this bluebird that I think I got. I think this was a Graphics Fairy download a while ago. So I've printed this out onto a clear label paper, which I use lots of, and I thought I'd just stick that on here. And then I also wanted to use this camera stamp, so I'm probably going to put that up there, I would say. this now along the bottom. As you can see, I'm just sort of layering elements onto the card, you know, to build up the collage, and I'm not worried about it all sort of going over the edge because I'm just going to trim it down afterwards. I've also got a little stamp piece there. Also got this lovely marbled blue paper, so I'm just going to cut off a little piece of that. And add that on there. I've also got a nice sticker that I quite like to use because she's holding a camera, so that might be quite nice placed on the top there. She's holding a camera, capturing all those memories. Okay, I think it's kind of knowing when to stop is a bit of a thing you just learn over time. I have learnt that I do sometimes get carried away and just overdo it sometimes, and you kind of think, oh, I shouldn't have added that bit. And so it's just a matter of learning when, as soon as you see it and you like what you see, then I would say stop because then there's no chance of you then ruining it by adding something that's maybe not quite right. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. I'm just going to finish this off with some distress ink around the top. I'm going to change my pad because I'm using a different coloured ink. And I'm just going to distress the edge just to give it that older look. I tend to try and keep my junk journal sort of in a sort of vintage looking theme, in that I tend to use junk and vintage stationery papers, tea dyed, copy paper, that kind of thing in my junk journal. So it does tend to have a kind of old vintage feel about it. So in keeping with that, I'm just going to do that. So I'm quite happy with that. So that's one of the elements that I'm going to add to the page. The second element is the journal space, and I'm just going to grab my journal just to see how much I need for that. So this is my page, and because my junk journal is so bulky, I'm just going to put one of my other journals underneath there to prop it up a little bit. There we go, that's a bit better. Okay, so that card I've just made is probably going to go somewhere kind of in the middle-ish, like this, maybe just slightly off centre, because then the waterfall card I'm going to make is going to go here, and then the journaling spot is going to be here. So yeah, there's a little bit, so I'm going to be tearing some off that side, some off, more off this side. And I'm probably not going to, I'm thinking I might not even stick that fully down. I might have it as a sort of, almost like a fold out flap. That might be quite nice. I could always write on the back of it then. So actually I could do that. Some nice, lots of interactive elements then. So that can be a fold out card. I'm going to have the flip card there, which is also not going to be fully stuck down. So everything can be lifted up and then you can see the journaling. Yeah, I like that idea. So let's just distress the edge of this piece here. Just distressing the edge of that piece of paper a little bit, just so it kind of stands out on the page a little bit more like that. So I'm not going to stick that down yet, but that's likely I'm going to put that there. So that's the collage bit done there. And now we're just going to make the waterfall card and the tags to go on the right hand side. So let's put all of that to one side for a second. Okay, so this waterfall card. Now, this is going to be interesting because I have never made this before. You think I should have made one as a sample. I watched a tutorial video a couple of times, and I've written down my instructions, which I'm going to put off to the side there. So basically you start off with a strip of card. It can be plain card. I've used a bit of scrapbooking card from one of Tim Holtz's collections, and I'm doing it exactly the same size as I saw in the video, so I wouldn't make any messes of it. And so this is 5 centimeters wide by 20 centimeters long. Then you need another strip of the same card, which is roughly about, I think, a centimetre wide by about 12 centimetres long. And then you need your photographs, and you need 4 of those. And so I've got 4 here, which represent some of my happiest moments. So when I got married, when I lost 35 pounds of weight before I became, for my 50th birthday. So that's kind of before and after shot. So that was a happy day. This was when I had the fantastic opportunity of driving a vintage car around the roadways in France, and this was when we adopted our 2 beautiful dogs, Harley and Rusty. So those are the 4 photos I'm going to use as my happiest moments, and I'm just, again, like I did with some other stuff, I'm going to just distress the edges. Distressed. I think I'm going to go ahead while I'm here. I'm going to distress everything. Right, I don't need to bother doing that piece. Right, now, so the next thing I need to do is get my ruler. And she worked in centimetres in the video, so I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to mark out between 4 and 8 centimetres on each of these sides. And now I'm going to be able to not use my pencil. There we go. So here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then also on the other side as well. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you've actually got 4 lines, and then join those lines together. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's for our 4 photos. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold along all of these lines, and we need to fold the card both ways as well. So fold that way and then fold in the opposite direction. So I'm just going to now just really press down those folds. I won't fold her. So now let me see. Right, okay, so now it's time to do the photos. I'm just going to decide which order I want to put the photos in. Which photo do I want to do? I think I'm that one on the top, I think. Then that one. That one. Yeah, okay. So now we've got to put some glue just in the between the 4 and 8 centimetre space where we've just folded. So that's the only place we're going to put the glue. We're probably going to have to work fairly quickly because this particular glue dries quite quickly. So I've actually put quite a lot of glue in there. The long piece sits at the top. There we go. Right. So now we fold the top piece down like that. Yes. We then take this thin strip and we're going to place it under the first photo. And then fold it across the back like that. Now, I suppose you can either glue this or tape it. I believe she taped it in the video, but I'm actually going to use my super strong glue because I just feel that might just be a bit more secure. Famous last words. So I don't want any of that to seep. No. Right, so that's my waterfall card. I'm probably just going to trim this a little bit. And of course, it's not actually the side I wanted, but actually that's fine because I think that actually is actually better as it happens. I'm just going to put a bit of de-stress on there. Okay, so I'm really happy with that. So that's ready to attach. Now all that's left to do now is to make the two tags that are going to go into the pockets on the right hand side. So quickly going, I've already cut out a couple of tags. What I really like doing is making tags out of index cards which I've tea dyed. So these are all tea dye index cards because then they've got lines on the back and you can write. I mean, you don't have to obviously have lines to write on anything, but I really enjoy it. And I covered this one with some blue paper. So I think what I'm going to do for this one, I found this lovely blue stamp, big stamp. So I'm going to stick that on the top of there. These are just going to be fairly simple, nothing too complicated. That quite like the idea of having some of this paper on the top there. So I'm just going to put that across top there so you can see everything through it. And again, I think I'd just quite like to have some of this maybe on the bottom. So again, if there are elements that tie in with the other side, it makes it all kind of work together. I'm just going to put that across the bottom. And then this one, I quite like to, I stamped a leaf with a rubber stamp onto some vellum, and I'm going to use that. I think I'm just going to put some of this across the corner there. First, yeah, I'll actually make it that side. And before before I stick it down, I might just, oops, distress the edge a little bit. Now, clearly you should do this before you put the glue on, but I do forget to do that sometimes. So I'm going to put that across the corner there. Oops, it's all sticking down. Too much glue. So again, I'm going to trim all that off. Like that. And then, should I put some of this at the top? Yeah, I think, why not? Ties it all a little bit together then. And we'll stick the vellum down on top. Like this. And often, you know, I come back to these things and sort of add a few other little touches later. So I'm just going to go ahead and punch this through. And I might add some string on it later. Punch that as well. So there we have our two tags. And now we're kind of ready to put everything together. So, oh, I did want to add this little number here. These little number snippets remind me of sort of cataloguing in the old days. I quite like it, nice final touch. Right, so let's get the journal back. Put my prop underneath. Okay, so we've got all the elements now, and I'm going to do a final kind of placement just so that I know I'm happy. So we had our journaling spot, we've got our kind of journal card that we collaged on, and then this is the little flip which is going to go here, and that's, I think, it's probably just going to go a little bit over the top like that. Yeah, so I'm happy with those elements there. So let's go ahead and stick this, the journaling bit down. So that's that. Now I said I wasn't going to fix this down, so I'm thinking maybe either put some washi tape to hold it in place, and probably now if I stick that down, I wonder how is that going to affect the actual movement of the card. And stick this down with some tape at the top so it's a flip out. I'm using some washi tape that I found some blue dragonflies on, which goes with my blue theme. So that's my sort of flip out card. I might just put a little bit of washi tape on the inside as well, just to give it a bit more secure. Okay, that's that. And then this, again, I'm just not sure how to fit this onto the page. Right, I'm going to have a think about that in a second to see what I want to do and how I want to fix that into my journal. So for now, I'm going to take my tags that I had and put those in the pockets on the right hand side. I've got a little birdie here that I want to add to that one. I'm just going to add this little blue bird to the bottom of that one. Oh, and you know, I nearly forgot, I want to distress the edges of these tags as well. we go. So those are my 2 tags on the right hand side, and of course I can also journal on the back of those as well. And then this, what do we do about this? Right, I've had a brainwave. Sometimes happens. I'm going to make a little belly band to go across that I can just then tuck this into, so I can take it in and out quite easily. I don't want to make a pocket because I want to still keep that. So I'm going to make a little belly band around about here. Place this belly band here, just above that journal bit there. Put that flap down, and then we're just going to tuck our little waterfall card in there. That keeps that in place. We have this flap down collage card again, and now we've got also the space to write in here. So now we've added all the elements. We've got a few finishing touches. I really like this little quote here that says, if I can read it, hopefully that's in focus, take a picture, it'll last longer. So I want to add that onto the bottom of my waterfall card. And I think I'm going to add that to the bottom there. Like that. I also wanted sort of to tie in, add a little bit more of this washi tape, so I'm just going to add a little bit in the corner here. Like that, and I just wanted to add this little dried flower sticker, add that across the corner here on my writing spot there. Okay, well, I think my spread is finally finished. I've really enjoyed doing this collab with Helen from Journal at Purpose. I can't wait to see what she has done with her prompts and pages. The link to her video is down below, and you'll also find pictures of the finished pages on our Instagram pages. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching.